Magnus.
Okay, goes for the OD, so we saw Makoto play this as well, and that's going to make the life of the Void very difficult, right? As you are going to potentially be astraled up through the Chrono, which you don't want. Or he just astrals his teammates through the Chrono. It will indeed be a Jackie Void we're seeing here as well, as Fearless will go mid on the Magnus, and Masteros will go into the Pos 3 role as the Sand King. Everything else on Boom Esports fairly standard, of course. Dream is still going to be on the PL, FBZ on the Tide. Again, going to be a pretty fun matchup, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a great back and forth. I think you've got to watch the timings here. So Jackie's always going to have a way to clear out those PLs because of Empower, and Fearless as well. They've got decent ways to handle the illusion spam. At the same time, once the diffusal is up and once Dreamo Cell's tankier, you burn the mana of any of those heroes, they're not going to have a good time. So it's going to accelerate the rate that you can kind of lock in control. I think there's a lot of pressure to be the initiator here for both sides, just because there's so much counterplay potential as well, counter initiation and you'd rather be in control of the situation rather than the ones being forced into it. So both sides are going to look for decent blink timings on their offlaners down the line. I believe Fearless is going to go for the standard Magnus buildup. Echo Saber Blink going to be key for him too. For Boom, FBZ will need a blink, although I'm not sure if he's going to rush it in this game. Mikoto, though, will need what we tend to see, like the Ags buildup or the Hurricane Pike buildup for the OD, going to be really important to set the pace. Should be a fun back and forth. It is a bit faster for MG.TRUST just because they've got Empower to play with.
I mean, you were talking about this in game number 1, but Dream Assault does tend to enjoy playing those kind of mid-game, snowball-y pos ones. PL is not really one of them that can be online so quick. It does need quite a bit more itemization. So him having to sit back and just farm quite a bit longer, we'll see if that does affect Boom Esports.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't expect Dreamosol to be out and running even with the Diffusal. He's going to need, looks like he's going to rush the Defiance here just to have some durability in play. And probably the Manta, that's the point. Diffusal, Manta, and HOD is what you want from the PL here. So it's going to be a little bit more time. Boom can play as Fordo. They've got amazing team fight with these 4 heroes, although Mikado might also need some time to farm up. So it's slower cores here for Boom. You could argue it's the same thing here for MG.TRUST, right? Like a Faceless Void, maybe you throw the Chrono at once. You will, for the most part, want to farm up. And the same thing goes for the Magnus. It's the Blink Echo Saber timing. So it looks like both sides might be relying more on their supports and their offlane to find those openings. And we'll see if they're going to be given those opportunities.
We'll go into it. The Banner Rune's about to spawn up. Should be a 2-for-2 trade. Jackie's just dancing on the high ground there as he's going to move into Hyde now. He's going to try and steal the third, but he will not be able to. Hyde does manage to pick it up. Jackie able to time walk away. It is still going to be a 2-for-2.
Yeah, and we're going to see how these lanes do unfold. Of course, it's FBZ up top here on the Radiant side, along with Hyde. We already saw Jackie walking in that lane. They are dragging down Boombell as well. So it's the Oracle, Faceless Void lane. Fairly straightforward. There's some aggression you can get out if you get some lucky bashes. You can follow up with a nice root in the Oracle. Maybe try to nuke them down. But this lane from Boom is fairly tanky. It's an ET lane. They know how much right-click damage the ET can bring out. And of course, the Tide against a melee Anchor Smash is going to be hard to play again.
That it will. Jackie, no matter how much damage he does take, he should be able to time walk most of it off, assuming he does time it right. We'll have a look at the mid lane. We'll see Fearless up against Makoto, and this could be a bit of a tough one for Fearless. While he does have the Empower, Makoto is just going to be able to Astral him quite consistently as the levels go up. That is going to make the Magnus's life quite a bit tougher in this mid lane.
Yeah, it's not going to be too enjoyable. It's still a melee into an OD. And OD, once level 3 comes out, level 2 Astral, it's going to be pretty annoying to play against. So Fearless probably just going to look for the steady farm. Going to be important to secure his camp there. And of course, you would want to deny off the power runes. So we'll see if the supports can get that done. It should be easier for the Magnus to charge in, but you're still going to look for the assist and down bot. You do see Q along with Masaros. So it's our Sand King plus Tiny Lane up against the CeeM with Keskute and a toss-up on our Dreamosel PL. Already you're seeing Dreamosel lag behind slightly. Masaros at level 2 should be able to exert pressure with his caustic.
He should. We saw Masaros before. He just ignores going for the epicenter and just maxing out everything else. That seems to be the way to play the Sand King in this this current meta. No real point in the early levels in epicenter, as it is just a bit too hard to land, and the damage isn't exactly amazing at the earlier levels. Masaros, he's going to cop a lot of lances out from Dreamer Cell, especially once the mana aura is there from KezQ. So, it's one of the beauties about having the PL and CeeM lane, is you can just really abuse the lance out from Dreamer Cell. It's one of the main reasons why the Coddle PL used to be so popular with that kind of combination, but the CeeM just kind of grants everyone across the map mana. It's going to feel even nicer.
Just really good to maintain that aggression. Masaros already just kind of dropping low. He's going to have to eat his regen true earlier than he'd like. And of course, KezQ and the CeeM at some point can just kind of dip into the jungle, get some pulls, get some EXP for himself. So it's going to be a steady lane if Q doesn't find the opening. And the pressure is on him, although...
And they do jump in, but the Crystal Nova going to be out from KezQ. Going to stop them from chasing down Dreamer Cell, but Q does manage the Avalanche toss onto KezQ. And that's another thing, right? For Q, once he gets a few more levels up, in fact, Masaros sticking around in that Sandstorm, not realizing there's a Sentry Ward down. He will run out of range, but Dreamer Cell does have another Lance. It is only a level 1 Lance, so he won't bother throwing it out. Q going to chase down Dreamer Cell. Has the Avalanche up in 1 second and should be able to get this kill if he picks off the right PL. Dreamer Cell still trying to run, but Q is on the chase. Has the Avalanche, has the toss up, and that should be Dreamer Cell going down for first blood. And Q will be the one to pick it up on the Tiny.
Took a lot longer than you expect, but it does eventually come in. Good positioning there from Q, punishing the PL. Masaros still has to be careful as the Sentry is still in the middle of that lane. But now at level 3, he's got his Power Spike. He can definitely start to take control once he gets some mana.
Oh, Q is going to take the Arcane Rune away with the toss back into the skewer onto Makoto. Luckily, Makoto will have some creeps around, and Hyde's also going to come in, but now Q going for the Avalanche, and Hyde is being hit by that tier 1 tower. Fortune's End is in. Q with the toss back onto Hyde will get another kill set up. And Q has been very consistently pretty darn good on these Tinies over all the games we've seen. It looks like this game is not going to be much different.
Now he's just exerting that pressure you love to see from the support Tiny. He's going to spot out the TPs as well, and they try to go again.
Yeah, Avalanche toss. Makoto falling very low, but is going to be able to Astral the Magnus. Hyde is around with the Astral Spirit damage to try and whack away onto Fearless. And Q actually killed off Makoto's Courier, but doesn't quite get the OD. And Hyde will protect Fearless, or rather, hit Fearless as he does run away. Protects Makoto.
Yeah, they do lose out in the runes though because of those support rotations, so
bot lane.
it's gonna be all runes.
Masaros gets the Sandstorm off in time. KezQ doesn't have detection. Looks like Masaros will survive, but John, might I just add, Dreamer Cell, I do love the fact that he just rushed the Hood of Defiance. It's going to make it very hard for the Sand King to try and zone the PL out now.
Yeah, and we've seen the PL so far really go for this build-up. They just want to maintain the lane. They want to have a source of HP regen just to get that forward farm going. It is going to help, but I think MG.TRUST have found what they wanted in the lane. So Masaros is at 4. He could just jungle now with level 2 Sandstorm, maybe abandon the lane, get some space out for the supports to just soak. The one thing right now you're not seeing from Boom is them leveraging this Hyde Elder Titan. The issue was top lane, of course, when you had the Oracle matchup, if you get your Astral Spirit buff on, the Oracle can just purge it. That's really why Hyde is just forced to walk around with it.
Q again onto Hyde. Fearless going to join in. Does have the RP if he wants to commit it. Fortune's End going to be out from Burn Bell, but he does get a nice stomp off. It just isn't going to last long enough, but he's still going to buy a lot of time. You don't really want to chase like this too long, but Q is going to get the toss up, and that'll be Hyde going down, and the 3rd kill out for our Tiny already.
Yeah, and I love that immediate smoke. They've got that RP you talked about waiting to go. They are just going to contest these creeps, and with a double damage, of course, Fearless can find us really easy.
They got scanned out through the smoke, but yeah, it just doesn't matter. If you can take these stacks away, still KeZQ going to come in now with FBZ around the corner for the Ravage. And, well, the Magnus still not dead, but the Sanities will come in. Makoto able to take a double kill for himself in the OD. And he shall be very, very happy with that.
A bit greedy in the end. Mikado does manage to find some good kills for himself. He's got his level 4 Astral up, so even if you come into the lane to contest, Q's not going to have a good time. Got to be cautious about bleeding those kills onto the OD. And Mikado just sets himself up for a really sweet ramp up on this hero. So they're buying space out across the map as well. The thing is, Jackie has been, for the most part, left alone. There's not been any pressure up top. Top of the last hits, top of the network now on the Faceless Void. And that does mean Jackie will get a good ramp into the Mask of Madness. And once that's up, the farm will really speed up for Faceless Void.
Shell doing very well in CS, Jackie. Down to that bot lane where they will see Dream Missile, and they have the Chrono up with the Burrow Strike out. There's your Chrono being committed, but do they have the damage output? There's your Bashes coming out. Dream Missile just copying 3, and again, Q. He's always in the right position at the right time, Q. And he'll find his 4th kill on the Tiny.
Yeah, they're just finding the biggest kills. They get the punishment onto Dream Missile. They're going to be able to line up for a push. You do see a bit of a clump up top from Boom, but they opt to TP out. They want to defend.
It is only 8 minutes into the game. They don't want to lose that tier 1 tower without a siege creep even being committed here from MG.TRUST. Bell, Q, gonna see KeZQ. There's your Fortune's End to fly out. Masaros trying to break the gap here for a burrow, but the Avalanche toss again. 5-0 for Q now. FBZ trying to deal with Masaros. Fearless just going to go straight in onto Hyde. They have the RP. They can just rush in. They don't even need the RP. They'll just cancel the stomp off, and Hyde will eventually die. And this bot tier 1 tower, whether Boom Esports like it or not, is going to go down.
They just don't have the bodies to throw out. They're going to have to sit back, farm up elsewhere. Without the Ravage, there's just no defense. So the first objective going to go the way of MG.TRUST. Mikado has gotten some good damage mid, though. The mid tier 1 down to 600 HP. They might be able to clear it out here, Boom.
The tier 1 mid tower is much more valuable. I'm surprised MG.TRUST is allowing this to happen. They will. Boom Esports get the better end of the trade with that mid tier 1. Good play out from Makoto and FBZ. Just ignore that bot tower afterwards and just take down that mid. That's obviously going to open up the dire jungle now for Boom Esports to invade.
Yeah, just more farm flying out here. They do still have the tier 1 top though, so it's not fully open, but it's a decent enough spot to get some good farming. So gotta be careful there, MG.TRUST. They still are buying some space out. You can see Jackie now starting to clear out the camps, clear out the stacks with the Empower. And of course, when you've got that up from your Magnus, it goes a lot faster. You do have Ravage up on Boom. You've got Santis Eclipse ready to go as well. You have to be careful if you're going to force a fight out, and it looks like Boom is eyeing that top tier 1 now.
They are. Masaros does get the Veil of Discord up so he can defend even more efficiently now on the Sand King, but he's going to leave that tier 1 for now. I like it's being pressured too much quite yet. Alright, just going to defend the bot lane. Q will be around as well, just trying to farm up his Blink Dagger. And man, that is going to be a fast Blink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is sickeningly fast for the pause for Tiny. He's right below Masaros' farm, Q. So it's been a good time in terms of that distribution towards the Tiny. That could also mean Masaros isn't getting as much as he'd want, but it is paying off so far. Still, the top lane will eventually go. It'll take a while, but they find that top tier 1. No defense coming out from MG.TRUST. You do have some good control here, but they are eyeing that bot lane.
They are. Hyde going to be... Oh, no, he's not. Boomball's going to come in with the false promise and take him out. And now the disarm is there on Makoto. He can't finish the job off. He did not want to commit Sanities for that. And it may not have been enough anyway, but Q would be a much bigger kill anyway. He's got a mega kill streak on him on the Tiny. Q, can he get out of this one? Avalanche toss is there, and we do have a pause out.
This is either seconds before disaster or something nice happens here. But I feel like this is when you drop that Santis. Q is worth a lot. Just kill him off. Just do it. Might not need to anyway. Q doesn't have mana. Should just be able to run him down now. So just
Should be
awkward.
able to. He does have 6 stick charges, but that's really it. It's very limited as to what he can do here, especially with the frostbite out from the CeeM. So close to that blink as well, just a couple hundred gold off. Really doesn't want to die. He would have had such an amazing timing on that blink dagger on the Tiny. Looks like he has no choice, and if this kill goes to Makoto, it's only going to escalate him getting his Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, and that's going to be important for the OD, right? That's the key timing for the hero. And yeah, he'll go.
Yeah, go get it.
There it is.
Nice kill from Makoto. That was worth about 500 gold for him. Yeah, just very close to the Ags now. Nice play from Makoto.
Good time. We're catching up. 2k behind still. So MG.TRUST still has a slight edge in the end. You are having issues with Dreamwhistle here for Boom. That's the biggest pain point here. Like, he's the lowest net worth core, or at least he's above Masaros, but still not a good spot. Delayed defusal timing means you're not getting as much damage out, and you really need that up to start taking control in these fights. So, gotta watch yourself here. Get Dreamwhistle some safe space.
Masaros trying to turn, but they do dust him up and they do run away. Still Masaros gonna go for the TP play, but FBZ will not mess around. He'll pop the Ravage, get the kill. It's a very worthwhile kill for them as well on the side of Boom Esports now, lowering that net worth lead to only 1k for MG.TRUST.
Yeah, it's a long cooldown to commit, but you take the kill. You just want to sit back and farm anyway. You do not want to force these bigger team fights out yet, so it's not that much of a waste on using Ravage to get someone. Still, MG.TRUST, they're happy enough to sit back and farm themselves. Jackie just working towards his Maelstrom. Gonna be really pumping out the damage with the Chrono once the Maelstrom's up. Not too far off. And of course, Fearless is inching towards his Blink. So he's got the Echo Saber in. Blink's gonna be next. Our Magnus almost ready to go. They do smoke up Boombell and Jackie. They've got that Chrono.
Bot lane, however, Makoto is going to catch out Q once again. Q already buying out his Blink this time. So he does have the Blink Dagger up now on the Tiny, and they do actually scan out MG.TRUST, but the Chrono is going to connect onto Makoto. Do they have the damage output? False Promise, or rather Fortune's End, is going to be there from Boombell. Makoto's so low, he's going to walk out. Jackie, the time dilation, here comes the mag.
Oh.
He wants to commit RP, but he can't get it. No, he can, just in the nick of time, but the Earth Splitter is going to be there. Jackie back in now. Makoto's gone. He'll try on to hide. Here comes Masaros with the Burrow Strike available. He'll turn back around onto the CeeM, and they will kill off Kezcute, and everyone from MG.TRUST will walk out alive.
That was, again, on the edge, but they do manage to take it. Still some damage issues without that Maelstrom. They're going to want to farm that up on Jackie, but they jump on top. They knew the Ravage wasn't there. They didn't have to worry about dropping the Chrono. Found some decent kills, slowing down the Ag's timing, like we've been talking about, so gonna have to wait a bit longer for that Makoto.
Lane, Failed Discord, and an Avalanche toss out from Q, and that is a very deadly combination. So very limited heroes that can really survive that once Masaros does get in with the Veil and the Burrow Strike. Even the Sandstorm damage over time while you're being tossed up in the air is going to be quite nice.
It's a great reveal of that Blink out for Q. So they're going to have to be aware of the additional initiation here from MG.TRUST. The Maelstrom's up for Jackie, so his farm shoots up. Can do damage in the Chrono as well. Boom, they've just got to wait out. The defusal for Dreamwhistle is almost done. Once you've got that, you can expect your PL to maybe help out the cause, although you would want more farm on him. You do have Ravage and Santis ready to go. You might want to make use of that, but MG.TRUST are keeping a good foot forward, preventing too much deep excursions here from Boom.
Masaros, top lane. Be harassed out a bit by Dreamwhistle, but it's all going to back off. Back to farming for him. He needs that Diffusal Blade up, and if I'm correct, it's on the Courier anyway, and it is. Diffusal there. Blink Dagger on FBZ, however. So you've got more initiation now for Boom Esports. And this is all great timing, because even the Aghanim Scepter on Makoto is coming out. They might as well just go for a big smoke up now.
They need to. They really have to start finding Jackie. We talked about that being the issue in game 1, where they just let this this pause one really farm like crazy. They need to get some punishment out while their ults are up. Chrono is not going to be up for 7 seconds. It's going to be up soon enough, though. Gotta be careful with the timing and jumping in here.
Well, they see Boombill on the Oracle. They might just decide to go for it first, and they will. Boombill does have the false promise, but is going to try and survive without it. He's been stomped up. FBZ with the Anchor Smash, and the Crystal Nova out from KezQ will be enough, but Q is having a look. Won't jump in, and even top lane, Dreamer Cell just solo kills off Masaros. And that was the Diffusal Blade reveal coming out from Dreamer Cell. Bot lane. There's Q jumping in now with the Chrono out from Jackie, but the Ravage is going to be there from FBZ. He will not allow Makoto to die. Fearless, however, going to jump in with the RP. Does commit, but does he have the damage? He'll skewer back in, but he's in the Crystal Nova now. They'll just toss Makoto back up. They'll get the kill. Jackie's somehow out of there with Q and Fearless. They are trying to escape the grasp of Boom Esports now. Or maybe even reinitiate Q. Going to toss FBZ back in. That's Hyde gone now. MG.TRUST just dancing in circles around Boom Esports. Fortune Zen, not going to last too long. Here comes Dreamer Soul on that PL, but the Avalanche is out from Q with the toss-up. Dreamer Soul, he's falling low. They'll get the Burrow Strike, they'll get the kill. And Jackie will survive thanks to the false promise out from Boombill.
Oh, that's not good news for Boom. They blew every one of their spells except for the Santies. That was some really good positioning coming out as well. Like KezQ was on point for the freezing field. It just wasn't enough. The lineup of MG.TRUST has way too much burst. They have way too much durability on the front with this Faceless Void and the Magnus. And Boom has to rethink their game plan. They need to get more stacks up on Makoto. He needs a BKB or this Blink just to get himself in a better spot. And once he stacks up the Eclipse charges, he can drop the hammer. They should melt without the BKBs coming in. They just can find that opportunity. There was too much focus coming out from MG.TRUST. They've got to somehow find a way to give some breathing room here for Makoto to do the work.
That they do. Makoto still wanting to get that blink up. It's quite far off it. Jackie still top of the net worth board, working towards his own BKB up, and once that BKB is there, it's hard to see how you slow down Jackie, especially in these team fights. You won't be able to lock him down with the Ravage or the Astral for that matter. You won't care for the PL Diffusal Blade. FBZ looking to re-engage in that dire jungle. He doesn't have Ravage, but he'll spot out Masaros in the Sandstorm. He's getting information for his team. Even Fearless now working towards that BKB. These are some great timings for MG.TRUST if they do get them up soon.
Really gonna hurt Makoto. They are relying on the OD to get those hits out. The Ravage as well, it's not gonna do anything. So you start to rely purely on Dreamer Cell to get the damage done.
KezQ trying to get some D wards out by the looks of it. Won't be able to get them off. And Q, of course, will blow him up on the Tiny. Q is 8, 2, and 3, by the way, on this Tiny now. Just
gotta love it.
An amazing performance from him so far on the POS 4. You'd think he's carrying.
Definitely feels that way. He's been the one finding these opportunities ever since his Blink's been up. He's the one setting pace so far. So a lot of good work done by Q to enable this draft. Really has opened up the map here for Jackie to just farm up. For Fearless as well to go for a slower kind of Magnus play, just focusing on this initial build-up. As you mentioned, once the BKBs are up, I think Boom's just going to have a really, really difficult time winning out these fights. Your control disappears, your Ravage won't do anything, Sentry Eclipse won't do anything, your OD's right clicks won't do anything, although...
Has been spotted out, they get the Frostbite, but they don't want to jump in after him. They don't know who's behind him right now. They haven't got the vision. Huge is going to jump in now with a double Burrow Strike out from Masaros into the Avalanche toss. There goes KezQ again. FBZ, he'll be allowed to walk out. It's got to feel bad if you are Boom Esports right now. I mean, you're buying time, sure, but you've still got to be concerned about how well Jackie's farming. He's been off the map for a while, but now he is going to smoke up with the rest of his team. They have the RP, they have the Chrono, they want to make some plays. He's also got that BKB up, so they jump in with the Burrow Strike. But a big Ravage out from FBZ. He got him before the BKBs. The Astrals will be there with the Sanities. They won't be enough, but they still melt. Q and Jackie going down along with Boombell. FBZ. That is some heads-up play from him.
Quick responses, and they find more.
Kodo catching out Fearless. He was the one guy to get away. Commits the RP to try and run. Gets the skewer off as well, but he's brought it with him. Makoto's still there. There's no way out. Massive, massive team fight here for Boom Esports.
I'm surprised MG.TRUST just went in without the BKBs ready. Like, they had it on Jackie, but he didn't pop it preemptively. You have to. You just can't allow it, but they kind of stall out. Really good punishment from Boom. FBZ again. And this is the second time we're seeing his tide really pull through for his team. And MG.TRUST, they lost their lead. It's down to 1K for them, 11 to 15. They still have the Chrono. They can still look for a play. They know there's no Ravage. They know there's no Santis. They smoke up again.
They have lost their RP though, so you're not going to have that available. And as well as that, Jackie does not have Empower on himself right now, but he's going to try and sneak the Roshan pit. You definitely love to have that Empower to speed this up a bit. Jackie going to try and get it done by himself. The rest of his team to stick around here and just help out with the disarms on the Roshan. Bell does have that Max Fate's Edict, so he can disarm for quite a while, but the Astral Spirit out is going to give vision of this Roshan happening. Back into it though. They don't mind. Dreamer Cell, he's going to throw some illusions in. Onto Jackie. Get rid of some of that mana. I don't think this is the time for MG.TRUST to try and Roche. They're just going to back off, back to farming. Get some more items up. It's Boom Esports. Of course, they are going to be willing to fight if they do continue that Roche.
Yeah, I'd still say you are now giving Boom time to get Ravage back up, get Santis back up, and just saw the effects of those two spells together. I think you are running a bit of a risk on MG.TRUST to not force the issue with your Chrono while those spells hit. So we'll see if it pays off in the end. You will also get your RP back up, so I guess that's a tool going your way as well. And the BKB is going to be there for Fearless, so hopefully not going to be caught out in such a bad manner anymore. Just really need to pop those BKBs once you jump in. And they still do hold on to the lead here on MG.TRUST side. There's that BKB. So they can try to force something out now. Got the RP, but again, Ravage, Santis are up. Gonna be a risky one to fight into.
I've Skyder to come up on Dreamer Cell as time goes on. MG.TRUST still huddled in their jungle. Again, the Astral Spirit going to give vision. Seems to be the thing with these Elder Titan picks is they just keep getting so much information for their team. Makes it very hard for the opponent to get in there. Makoto, meanwhile, has caught Masaros. He's going to be surrounded by 4 heroes, but goes for a Burrow Strike play, but they dust him up. He's definitely going down. But that opens up the Roshan. They TP too many heroes down there. They're going to try and smoke back. And it looks like they won't have the damage output to burst down the Roshan.
Yeah, it's not the quickest one for MG.TRUST. They're just forced to play safe again. Now they're a man down. They do still have their ults, but so does Boom. Can force the issue out if they want.
BZ looking for that good Ravage initiation. Q might break the smoke soon, and will. They'll spot out FBZ. Fearless. Hanging around on that mag. He's there with the Chrono. Neither one will initiate yet.
Really cautious play from both sides. Not wanting to run too much risk. Boom is still really far forward though. They have positioned themselves in that jungle entrance. Still wanting to force something, but there is vision here. Have to be careful.
Fearless has the RP up, but he's gonna get caught out here. The Gush is out. He does pop his BKB. He's gonna need a run though. He won't get the initiation he wanted. It'll actually be his 10-second BKB charge gone. Boom Esports, they might want to fight now. The BKB's on cooldown. It's Ross trying to go in onto Dreamer Cell. He's going to have his mana drained if he's not too careful. Stomp is going to be out onto Masaros. They've locked him down. Boombell will keep him safe.
Just back to farming for a bit more. This will give time for that BKB to reset on Fearless. He is just working on some farm in this downtime, going for the Silver Edge next to have even smoother initiations coming in. Still a bit of a clump up mid, and FBC still holding on to the Rampage. He's trying to find something, but they're not splitting up. They're worried about getting caught out, so both sides are just playing the safe game, farming together, keeping each other safe and keeping eyes in that Roche pit. Don't want either side to get that. Although Jackie now down bot trying to go for that tier 2.
Yeah, he'll be able to get it, but the Roshan's happening now. They say if you want the tier 2 tower, that's fine. We'll go after the Roshan. It is scanned out. Motivate are going to be forced to come back and react to this. They're not stopping MG.TRUST. Maybe they are. Dreamercell jumps in, but Fearless, he's got the RP. He's got the illusion, though, with the skewer. Dreamercell is going to be all right to reinitiate now, but Q jumps in onto the CeeM. Does pick her off. Masaros, he'll get the false promise out, so he'll survive. Dreamercell still pushing forward with the PL now. Force them back, but Boombell sticking around. Still the Burrow Strike in for Masaros, but there's your Rampage out. It only got Boombell. They do pick off the Oracle at the very least. That may be enough to try and force this Roshan again.
Gotta be cautious about the Faceless Void now. If Jackie comes in with a Chrono in that pit, you do not have ways to counteract it beyond an Astral from outside. So you've got to be careful. Jackie might look to try to steal, but looks like they might give it away instead. It's not the fastest Roche though. There's still a little bit of time to react.
He's going to stick around. He'll get some vision there with the tree throw. Free toss. BZ still chasing down Jackie, just not giving them space. Really holding back, but they do go for the Burrow Strike. Astral Spirit going to be there. Q jumping back in for an avalanche toss. Does get it. It's not going to be enough, but Fearless, he's jumped in early. He's been astraled up by Makoto. Jackie might need that Chrono soon, but no, they won't initiate. Jackie, he'll get back into the pit now. They're trying to avoid this big Chrono out from Jackie. No Ravage for another 80 seconds. Jackie going to try and rush the Roshan with that BKB, but he's been eldered up and got the Aegis. He does manage to snag it. Jackie now takes down Kescue. Dreamercell has been skewered back in by Fearless, but there's his Sanity's out from Makoto. Still Jackie trying to get out of there, but no. He loses the Aegis to FBZ. They also kill off Dreamercell, however, and now you do see the Chrono coming out. They've got the OD in there, but he's been disarmed. Jackie could not attack. Hide. Going for the stomp back in. Makoto with the Burrow Strike out. Back onto Makoto. He's going to blink away, but Masaros is waiting. Makoto, can they get the stun off in time? No. They didn't have one anyway. So you got the Aegis. It essentially disappears straight away. A 2-for-2 trade, but I'd say the 2-for-2 is, or rather 2-for-1, because one of those lives were the Aegis anyway. It is a Motivate Trust win.
Definitely is. They widen their lead to 7k now. Boom, they were just forced to Ravage awkwardly earlier on, so they didn't have that tool. The Santies was just to secure the Aegis kill, but it's really not lining up. Dreamercell's having a hard time maintaining the front. There are way too many ways to really keep that PL down here. MG.TRUST just has way too much AoE damage at play that the PL can't really dance around, so they're going to have to find a way to fix that. MG.TRUST. And they're up there. They're just going to wait for the Chrono to be back up. And Jackie, saving up for his MKB, actually switches into the Ags. So going for the Ags next and have the utility when he jumps in to get that instantaneous lockdown. You will have RP on Fearless. Is ready to go, so they've at least got one initiation tool on standby. And Fearless is going for the Orchid we tend to see on Magnuses. So they're going to have that up and running as well. For the side of Boom, they're trying to build into their own B2. Mikado trying to save up for his. You do see Dream Assault still saving up for his. Eye of Scotty really needs it just to tank up and perhaps slow down the regen game that MG.TRUST does have on hand. Gonna be a bit more gold though, lacking about 1,000. And once you've got that, I think your PL is in a better spot, but not quite out of the woods. Still gonna need more farm to come in, and Boom will still have to keep playing that stall game.
That they will. You are almost there to that Eye of Scotty though for Dream Assault. That Ags on Jackie is going to be a big problem, however. In fact, he has switched again to the MKB, it seems.
That's fair. I mean, he's already got the Blitz Knuckles.
Might just go for the Ags later.
Yeah, no rush. The utility from the Ags isn't necessary. And Fearless, he's got his Silver Edge.
He does. He's going to run into FBZ, but they seem to know he's around there somewhere, and the pings come out. They've got vision of the mag. Astral Spirit to confirm. Boom Esports. They do have a smoke there on Kescute. They might just go for it now. He will. To that mid lane. They'd love to get Jackie. Jackie's got an Arcane Rune to play with, though, so rather Fearless is going to get the Arcane Rune. He'll bottle that one up, so a quicker cooldown RP, but a smoke on smoke. Spotted. Then Mazeros does get the Burrow Strike off. They've got Dream Assault there. That'd be a huge pick off to start things off. FBZ, he has the Ravage, but it's not going to be that great. Doesn't stun up Jackie, but Dream Assault does get out with his life intact. Now Kescute going down into Hyde. Will also drop on the Older Titan. Meanwhile, Fearless trying to go after Makoto. He will not be able to. I say the Ravage wasn't that great. It did save Dream Assault for sure. Jackie did manage to get the BKB off in time, however.
Yeah, it's not the ideal, but if you save out your core, you won't have it for the high ground. That's the bigger issue here. You have sanities. Whether or not that's enough is a different question.
H3 tower. Going down quick. MG.TRUST. They're going to hold out to the high ground. They still have that Chrono to play with as well as the RP. Plenty of opportunity for them to turn back around and re-engage. They're all dead! And he's still there for Makoto. Avalanche not going to land FBZ. Quick reactions out on the Tide. It's going to be a very slow process here for this tier 3 tower. But Fearless, nice skewer back onto FBZ. They'd love to kill off this time, but they won't quite yet. Q jumping in onto Makoto. Won't be able to catch him either. In fact, he's the one Astral, but Jackie just commits the Chrono straight onto Makoto, and it looks like he is going to be able to kill him off. Now even the toss back onto Dream Assault on that Chrono, but they didn't have enough time. Back onto Kescute instead on the CeeM. She gets skewered back all the way down to the low ground. And you've still got the RP available. It's tough for Boom Esports to hold this high ground. Fearless waiting for that right moment. Jackie trying to bait them in. Q with the avalanche toss once again onto that Elder Titan Hyde. He's gone. He shows them he's still got the RP. Oh, it's going to be Yule's up. They've caught out the PL. Dream Assault might just get RP'd. No, the avalanche toss might be enough, and it will be. No buyback available on all three of them that are dead on the side of Boom Esports and MG.TRUST. They'll get their first racks. They won't be able to get a second as there is still 2 tier 2 towers. But they can get started on those instead.
They've got a huge lead now off the back of those kills. 16k advantage here for MG.TRUST. And, you know, this is the Faceless Void. It's just going to scale into that late game. We've seen this multiple times. Chrono is just the spell to go for, and even at RP, not going to be blocked by these BKBs that you want to build for Boom. So they've got to find a way back in here. They need to get Dreamosel with even more farm. I mean, he's got the Scotty, but it's not enough. He's just not tanky. Like, the damage here from MG.TRUST is way too much to deal with. They have to use this Ravage offensively. They cannot afford to pop it for just one hero. They need at least two.
Masaros, he's got Kescute again. This poor CeeM just can't catch a break this game. FBZ going to be used up on the tide. Burrow strike again from Masaros. FBZ going to get force-staffed out there by Makoto. Now Jackie's got the Satanic up. That much harder to kill the Void now. He's just going to happily go into that tier 2 top tower. Stomp is not going to slow him down at all.
Oh, this guy has no chill, man.
Got the 2 siege creeps. Tower's just going to go really quickly. Boom, I think they have to look for high ground. You can't afford to make a misstep outside. Just defend your racks here. You do have your 2 team fight spells, but you need more. I think you even need a freezing field on top of all of this. You need them all to line up. MG.TRUST, they can take their time. 22k lead. They have taken the top. They're going to take the mid, and they can't really stop it. Just, again, patience and the high ground here for Boom. And eventually MG.TRUST are going to put that to the test.
2k net worth lead here. Jackie wants to keep going for that last outer tower. Dota Plus thinking. 97% for Motivate Trust. Now even a Bloodthorn up on Fearless. Things are looking up. At least for Motivate Trust. Boom Esports, however, they'd hate to be 2 games down in this best of 5.
Smoke
is there. Jackie going to be the bait for his team. Gets spotted by this Astral Spirit. That mid lane. Q just going to rush forward with that smoke. Does get it broken. Does find Hyde, however. Avalanche tosses out. Fortune's End to root him in place. Hyde doesn't really get anyone with the stomp. It's a panic stomp. Now with the Burrow strike up from Masaros. Go down. No buyback on the Titan. MG.TRUST, do they want to try for high ground again? Not quite. They might go back for the next Roshan, and that's going to be up right now.
Perfectly timed. They don't quite know it's up yet, though, but they are hard to ping, so you're going to be able to go in there and have a chance to get Aegis and Cheese, and once you've got that durability up, you should have nothing to fear into the next fight. It's going to play it safe. They might catch people out, though. Kescute again going for the D-wards. Does have the Glimmer Cape to keep safe, though.
Q. Spotted there by Dreamer Cell. Fearless just standing his ground in that mid lane, but will eventually skewer away from the PL and just use that Silver Edge out. You even got a Blink Dagger now on Boom Bell, just so he can make sure the False Promise and Fate's Edicts do come out in time. And straight into the Roshan pit it is. To Motivate Trust.
Oh boy.
Boom Esports have to fight this. They have no choice.
Can't let him. Yeah, they've got to jump in here. They've got to play with a Rampage. It just melts. There's just too much damage now from MG.TRUST, so they're going to be too late to the party. Aegis and Cheese now up for MG.TRUST. Have to point us out as well. Jackie has his level 25 mic. He went for the backtrack.
Oh.
So you're not going to pierce through with the right clicks. You've got to find some other way, and there's just a lot of strain put here on Mikado to get the damage done with his send.
God, I miss backtrack. Such a good ability.
Do you really?
I do.
I hate it. It's such a broken spot. I'm a Lion player. I have had many fingers missed because of that, Mike. I'm
That's
not
what you get,
happy
John.
about
You play Lion, that's what you get.
it. Oh, God. It's there, though.
Bot lane, Masaros, Dreamer Cell. Both trying to avoid each other, but now Masaros wants to go back in. Dreamer Cell, do not farm that camp, so you gotta run. They are chasing him. Fearless going to give up on the chase, or maybe not. He'll take the outpost. Prior to that 40-minute mark. So just denying the XP away from Boom Esports and extending that lead even further for themselves.
Ooh, yeah, that's actually really well timed. That's going to give Fearless his 25. So we'll have to see what he takes. More than likely the Empower damage from Cleave. There you go. So even more Cleave and damage coming out with the Empower. It's perfectly timed with those outpost takes.
Very nice.
Oh man, it's almost a 30k lead here for MG.TRUST.
Huge.
It is. You look at the probability chart, Mike. 1% for Boom right now. Not a good look. they've got a lot of pressure. If they land a good team fight, if they get a perfect Ravage, everything lines up, you might see something. But it has to be
double
perfect
damage.
execution.
Yeah, he's got a DD room bottled up, John. He's put his
boy.
BKB away for this. So if you can catch him out before he can swap the BKB back in. In fact, never mind. He swapped it in right now. Boom. How do you take this team fight, Jackie? He's pretty slow right now, but it won't bother him too much. Onto that tier 3 tower.
Ooh.
Fearless gets the skewer back onto the tide with the avalanche toss out and the burrow strike. FBZ gonna have to buy it back, but he's lost his gem. Masros will take it himself. Here. Trying to get in there for a toss back, doesn't quite get one. Nice stomp out. There's no initiation right now. Jackie at least losing all his mana will mean he can't chrono at the moment. So there's that. Jackie doesn't really need the chrono either. He's just hitting the racks. Gonna go back into the bot lane now, onto Hyde, who got tossed away, but Masros gonna hold down FBZ as well. There comes KezQ on the CeeM. Trying to hold Jackie back, but Dreamers are going for the fight. There's just so many things to worry about for Boom Esports.
Yeah, it's difficult to defend. They need to wait for their ET to be up. They need to somehow get a good Ravage on, but Jackie's just been so patient. I mean, you're going to have to... I think they're trying to burst the Aegis first before going for the Ravage play. It's just... Ravage is all you have to start the plays.
Oh, it looks like Q going in again. Kills off KezQ on the CeeM. Jackie back onto that tier 3 top tower. Does take it out now onto the melee barracks, but KezQ, he'll buy back. They don't want to get megged here. He's trying to defend this. Jump in, but a great burrow strike out from Masaros. Jackie jumps in. He doesn't have the mana for the chrono. The Ravage connected. He'll lose the Aegis, but that'll mean a free reset. He'll have the mana for chrono now, and he might just commit. No. He'll back off with the BKB. Back towards the racks. They'll try and just get the mega creeps going. Fearless gonna start losing his mana. Will skewer away. Epicenter though. Masaros jumping back in, but misses out on the CeeM. Still Q will come in, going after KezQ. They want to get the dieback at least on him, and they just may, and they do. Dieback on KezQ. Dreamers still trying to fight this one out, but the mega creeps have been achieved. Jackie holding on to that chrono for now. Another avalanche toss out from Q, setting up onto Hyde. That'll be Hyde gone with no buyback. Into FBZ, but the chrono catching out Makoto. That's it, they've called it. GG once again, MG.TRUST taking a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 grand final. And John, who would have believed that this team would have made it to the grand final, let alone taking the first 2 games off Boom Esports?
You know, honestly, I'd say not even I would expect it. They were just always the underdogs in their matchups, but they pulled through. I mean, these guys just played the best of 3 up to 3 games, and they're still on top. They look to be in really good form. 1 game away from sealing it off. Boom Esports. The team's improved a lot, but something's up here. Their drafts, their playstyles are being counteracted by MG.TRUST. They've got to get something out of the bag here for game number 3. Do not want to give MG.TRUST that win for free, and they would love a win themselves. You said it yourself, but they've been at this point so many times. They would love a win. They need to work at it, try to swing it from the next game onwards.
Let's see how it all works out in game number 3's draft. It is MLP Dota and John X Fire. We'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for that 3rd game.